When I was 19 and preparing to go to university, education had only secondary importance to me because my main intention was to get wild, party all the time, meet girls, go on dates, and enjoy my single university life. So naturally, when I actually moved to university and the first day of studies came, I met on that very day, I met the girl that I would later fall in love with. And what resulted was that I ended up in a relationship for most of my university life, which was absolutely amazing. And she was and still is a fantastic person. And we had a really great relationship, and I couldn't believe how well we match in personality and interests, and that we could literally spend hours and hours and hours together talking and doing activities and never get bored. And it was completely amazing, and I was very enthralled with her. However, what really surprised me was that we would argue quite a lot about rather trivial things. For example, she would get often upset saying that, "Oh, you don't love me," or "You don't say I'm a wonderful person." And I would get really confused, and I would say, "Of course I love you. Look what I'm doing for you. I'm doing so much for you. Like, how could you say that I don't love you?" Or she would be buying me gifts, and she would expect me to buy her gifts as well, which isn't really my thing that much. And then we would argue over that, and it was very, very strange because we had such a great relation, and yet there were tensions, and all of our arguments seems to always result in the same around the same issues. And that was until we found out about something called 5 love languages. And the theory goes that every person has a different hierarchy of how they express their love. And the 5 languages are words, touch or physical contact, quality time, acts of service, and gifts. And every single person has their main go-to love languages, which are ways they express their love to others. So for example, my hierarchy is acts of service on the top, then touch, then quality time, words, and gifts. And my former partners were almost reversed. Hers were words, gifts, quality time, touch, and at the very bottom, acts of service. So the exact reversal of mine. And that seemingly simple thing resulted in massive arguments and a lot of tension. And then when we found out about those and we had this eureka moment, like, "Oh, that's what you mean by giving me gifts," or "That's what you mean by giving me a hug every morning," then the relationship skyrocketed to new planes, and it was absolutely wonderful because we became conscious of another person's way of expressing love, where I don't personally like saying "I love you" as much, but I am very big on touch and giving hugs and just releasing my emotions in a physical way. uh, she would accept that, and she would understand it and no longer feel insecure that I am not expressing my feelings, because I were, but in a different way. And what's interesting is that love languages aren't only limited to romantic relationships. It's pretty much universally how we express our gratitude and love and emotions. And love languages work the same way in a family setting, in a friends group, as well as for pets, animals, and even your apartment. It's just the way we naturally gravitate. It's, it's just the way that we gravitate to naturally to express our love. Okay, so very briefly, what are the 5 languages exactly? So words are any way of expressing how you feel inside, verbally or on paper. It's saying "I love you," it's saying "you are a wonderful person," it's saying how much somebody means to you. Um, Acts of service are things that you do for other person, kind of alleviating pressure and stress from another person, taking it upon your own shoulders. For example, in a relationship, that would be cleaning up or washing dishes or making sure that the living room is nice and set for a movie night. Or it would be folding your beloved one's clothes, or any little things that you would do that you know will make your loved one happy and smile. Quality time is setting or scheduling a time in a week where you or when you know you're going to meet another person and spend time with them. And this is very true for both romantic relationships as well as friends. It's basically being that one person that says, okay, how about we meet on Tuesday at 8, or reaching out to somebody to schedule a time when you will see them. That's quality time. Um, Touch, physical touch, my favorite. It's any way of releasing emotions that build up in our body through touch. And that's hugs, that's kissing, that's stroking somebody's hair, giving a shoulder massage, or even just touching somebody's arm. And this is very true for relationships again, as well as friends and family. And if you know somebody who is very big on tapping people on the shoulder, or just touching somebody's hand lightly, or stroking hair, or giving massages, probably their love language is touch. And the last love language would be gifts, which is going out of your way to buy a present for another person, something that you know they would love and that will make them happy. So right now that I am conscious of these for many years, uh, this has improved my social life tremendously. Whenever I start dating somebody, I try to figure out what their love language is almost from the get-go. And this really, really improves our communication. And I try to also communicate it to another person, saying, look, I'm a person who expresses their love in touch and acts of service. So this is what you can expect from me. And then I try to quiz the person about how they express their love so that I can be more mindful of how they will behave in a relationship. And this is also true for friends. Although you might not be going out of your way to ask your friends about their love languages, you could observe what your friends do. Who is the friend that always organizes a meetup? Who is a friend that will buy you gifts quite often? Who is a friend that will eagerly give you a back rub? And who is a friend that always tells you that you look fantastic and amazing and how much they love you? So yeah, those are love languages. I hope this helps. And also, it's a fantastic topic to cover during a St. Valentine's date. So enjoy, guys.